Imagine this. 10 years from now, instead of sitting in traffic, dragging yourself into the office, and watching the clock, you're waking up without an alarm. Your day is yours. Most people think early retirement is some fantasy reserved for lottery winners or Silicon Valley millionaires. But here's the truth. If you follow a practical system, early retirement is not only possible, it's closer than you think. The key is combining income growth with disciplined investing while avoiding the two traps that ruin most retirement dreams. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to do it. Now, let's open a loop right away. I'm going to reveal the simple piece of math that transforms the entire retirement equation. It's a formula so powerful that once you understand it, you'll never look at money the same way again. But before we get there, we need to talk about why most people fail at retirement in the first place. The brutal truth is that retirement doesn't fail because investing doesn't work. It fails because people give up too early. They start saving, they start investing, and after a few years, their account balance still looks small. It feels like nothing is happening, and so they quit. But compounding works like a snowball. At first, you're pushing it uphill. It's heavy, frustrating, and progress feels invisible. Then suddenly, after years of consistency, it crests the hill. From that point, the snowball rolls on its own, faster and faster until it's unstoppable. Most people never make it past that tipping point. They quit just before the curve bends in their favor. So how do you stay motivated long enough to reach that point? That's where the math comes in. The single most important formula for early retirement is called the Rule of 72. Here's how it works. Take the number 72 and divide it by your average annual return. And that's how many years it takes your money to double. At a 10% return, money doubles about every 7 years. Think about that. Start with $50,000. In 7 years, it's $100,000. In 14 years, it's $200,000. By year 21, it's $400,000. At 28 years, it's $800,000. And by year 35, it's over $1.6 million. The habits didn't change. The investment didn't change. The only thing that changed was time. Compounding took over. That's why staying consistent is everything. But here's the problem. Saving alone won't get you there. Cutting lattes, clipping coupons, and canceling streaming services won't make you wealthy on their own. Saving is defense. Defense is necessary, but you can't win a championship without offense. That means you need to grow your income as well as manage your spending. Let me give you a real-world comparison. Imagine two people. The first saves $400 a month for 10 years at an average return of 9%. At the end of the decade, they've got around $75,000. Respectable, but not life-changing. Now take someone who earns $10,000 a month, saves 10% of it, that's $1,000 a month, and invests at the same 9% return. After 10 years, they're sitting on nearly $200,000. Same discipline, same habits. The only difference? Income power. That's why every dollar is like an employee. You can either let your dollars waste time buying fleeting luxuries, or you can send them to work by investing them. One choice looks rich today. The other buys freedom tomorrow. Now, let's talk about building the kind of portfolio that can actually carry you to early retirement. Think of it like a 3-story house. The first floor is growth assets, things like index funds and stocks. This is the engine of your wealth. It's what beats inflation and compounds over decades. The second floor is income-producing assets, like dividend stocks, bonds that pay interest, or rental real estate. These provide cash flow, so you're not forced to sell your investments every time you need money. The third floor is protection, your cash reserves, maybe some bonds, or even a small allocation to gold. This is your safety net, the layer that keeps you from panicking during downturns and selling at the worst possible time. Here's the mistake many make. They copy some cookie-cutter allocation they found online without thinking about their own goals, risk tolerance, or timeline. The point isn't to copy a perfect pie chart. The point is to make sure you have all three layers so you can actually stay invested long enough for compounding to work. And let's not forget the silent killer of retirement plans: inflation. Inflation is sneaky because it doesn't show up all at once. It erodes your purchasing power year after year. If your contributions stay flat, inflation slowly eats away at your progress. The defense is simple: raise your contributions slightly every year, even if it's just by 3%. That small adjustment makes a massive difference over time. For example, a plan that would have ended with $760,000 can cross $1 million simply by increasing contributions each year. And when you reach retirement, the strategy doesn't end. Keep reinvesting a portion of your passive income, maybe 10 to 20%, so your orchard keeps producing fruit. Live off the harvest, but never stop planting. At this point, you might be wondering, how do you know if you're actually making progress? That brings us to one of my favorite concepts: measuring in freedom units. Stop obsessing over the size of your account balance. Instead, measure how much of your life has already been bought back by your investments. Let's say your expenses are $5,000 a month. If your investments are generating $500 a month in passive income, you're 10% free. That's half a workday every week that's permanently paid for by money, not your job. Think about how motivating that is. Every bit of progress isn't just numbers on a screen. It's real freedom, already earned. Now let's tackle the big question: how much money do you actually need to retire early? The simplest way to calculate it is with the 25 times rule. Take your annual expenses and multiply by 25. That's your target number. If you spend $60,000 a year, your magic number is $1.5 million. That number, paired with a safe withdrawal rate of about 4%, can cover your lifestyle indefinitely. For extra safety, especially if you're planning to retire earlier than average, you might lower your withdrawal rate to 3 or 3.5%. That pushes the target up slightly, but it gives you peace of mind. Now here's the part most people overlook. You don't have to save that entire amount out of your paycheck. Compounding is doing most of the heavy lifting. And when you combine that with disciplined income growth and controlled lifestyle inflation, the timeline shrinks dramatically. With the right strategy, people are reaching financial independence in 10 to 15 years, instead of 25 or 30. But there's one final accelerator. And this is the cheat code to financial independence. It's called the income multiplier. Budgeting alone won't get you there fast enough. You need to increase your earning power. Think about it. Compounding only works on what you feed it. The more fuel, the faster the engine. High-value skills, coding, finance, design, entrepreneurship, or content creation can all multiply your income. Naval Ravikant put it perfectly. Specific knowledge plus leverage equals wealth. The more you can scale your knowledge, the more income you can generate. Let me give you a concrete example. Sarah earns $70,000 a year and saves 20%, which means she invests $14,000 annually. At a 7% return, after 20 years, she has a little over $500,000. Solid, but short of full financial freedom. David starts in the same place, $70,000 a year, but he grows his income to $100,000, keeps his lifestyle the same, and invests $30,000 a year. After 20 years, he's sitting on nearly $1.3 million. Same habits, same market returns. The only difference? Income growth. That's the power of the multiplier. So what does this look like in practice? Each month, you have a simple checklist. Save and invest consistently. Feed the compounding engine by understanding and trusting the rule of 72. Focus on raising your income, not just trimming expenses. Build and maintain that 3-layer portfolio of growth, income, and protection. Increase your contributions slightly every year to beat inflation. Measure your progress in freedom units, not just in account balances. Know your magic number using the 25 times rule, and keep reinvesting a slice of your passive income even in retirement. If you miss two things, adjusting for inflation and growing your income, the plan falls apart. But if you keep both, compounding almost guarantees your success. With discipline, you can collapse the retirement timeline from 30 years down to 10 or 15. The truth is, money is not just about buying things. It's about buying time. Every dollar has a job. You can let it buy a temporary luxury, or you can put it to work and buy back a piece of your life. When you consistently choose the latter, the math and the compounding do the rest. That's how you turn 10 years into a shortcut to freedom. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button so more people can find it. Subscribe for more strategies to escape the 9-to-5 and build lasting wealth. And let me know in the comments, how many years away from financial freedom are you right now? Next, check out my video on the pain of the first $100,000 and the secret that makes the next easy. It'll show you why that first milestone feels impossible and how to push through. Remember, treat every dollar like an employee. Either let it waste time or send it to work. When you choose to invest, you're not just growing money, you're growing freedom.